First, I would now like to ask Hamad Naqi Khan Sahib to come and answer some questions from this commission. He is an engineer by training, but he also has a master's in water and environmental management. He leads WWF Pakistan, Pakistan's largest environmental organization and very successful organization, if I may add, and has spent more than 25 years, 27 years at WWF Pakistan. He's helped establish its freshwater and food markets programs and has led to its expansion, part of the expansion globally. And he serves as non-official member of Pakistan Climate Change Council, chaired by the Prime Minister, and he's on many other high-level policy forums. So over to you, Mushahid Sahib, for your questions.
Thank you, Hamad Sahib. Welcome, and you've done so much in the World Wildlife Fund, and I'll pick up the point which I think Afia Islam mentioned very well, that she expressed some skepticism about commissions and doing, and basically when there's I remember the famous Nike slogan, just do it. I think that's your approach. And I think Mr. Bhutto used to say that if you don't want to solve a problem, establish commissions. But this is an Awami commission, this is a people's commission, led by Simi Kamal and the other powerful women all around here. So I think we'll take it forward. There's a very disturbing trend in Pakistan. We talked of urbanization, and living in the federal capital, Islamabad, you'd know also, that we are very much infatuated by what I call the Dubai model. High rises, concrete, even they're planting palm trees now in Potwar, although it's not the same ecology. So this issue of nature-based solutions being relegated and too much focus on concrete, brick and mortar and infrastructure. So which is the way forward, and what do you suggest can be the remedy for countries like Pakistan, which are endowed with such natural resources? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just before I respond to your question, you're absolutely right. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, I've been a member of all the Supreme Court or the High Court commissions on climate, on water, Small Commission, Hobara Commission, Air Quality Commission, Islamabad Environmental Commission, Encroachment, Margala Hill Commission, you name it, and I was there. The unfortunate part is that a lot of recommendations which we deliberated upon, did a lot of research and submitted to the court, and the court, gave the directions and orders. The compliance was very poor. So I hope, I wish, I pray that the Awami Commission, when they come up with their recommendation, at least, we use it as part of a joint lobbying and advocacy. Now, nature-based solutions, so we see as the leading environmental organization a marked global shift towards nature-based solutions. I think as we speak, there are more than $50 billion of NBS projects being implemented. And it's not just organizations like WWF taking the NBS, or the nature-based solution agenda forward. It's the leading development and financial institutes like the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, Asian Infrastructure Development Bank. I mean, these are the institutes who give loans, to the government. So even the governments, particularly the developing country governments, they don't have any choice, and they are also trying to incorporate nature-based solutions. So as an engineer, we were taught, Dr. Numan probably still teaches, that we have an engineering solution for literally every problem. You want me to bring water from the K2 base camp to Karachi, I can design a project. Forget about the social and environmental cost. But so that's where, along with, such solutions, how can, instead of fighting with nature, we can work with nature. We look at the ecosystem and try to find solutions which are nature positive. Instead of, we used to talk about negative impact, but now we are talking about, the positive impact of the projects. So that's the approach. And if you look at the present context, the climate crisis, we see, the solutions that, as an organization, we started this, this program like, I think more than 10 years ago. The structures that we built, whether they were the flood embankment, the improvement of waterways, improving natural drainage, check dams, gabion structures, small ponds. 80% of these structures survived, these latest floods in KP and GB. And they were very simple. I mean, if you look at the life cycle cost, they not only, helped in addressing the flood challenge, but also they were simple and appropriate. The ownership of the community was more. The ecological benefits, or even in many cases, the livelihood benefits. You construct a pond, sometimes you can use that for fishing. It can recharge the aquifer. And the result is, coming to the second part of the question, what's happening? So the result is that based on that, we, and after the 2010 floods, we were thinking about a mega, not mega, but a large, scaling up these small initiatives. So it took us like 6-7 years, and we came up with a project, Recharge Pakistan, which is one of the largest ever Green Climate Fund funded projects. It's all grant, $78 million. Coming to Pakistan, implemented in Sindh, Balochistan, and KP, DI Khan, the Gomal Dam area, the Manchar Lake area, and the hill torrents on the Punjab and Balochistan border. So, but that's just one organization. We also see a shift in the private sector, particularly the companies who depend on water, and they treat water as a business risk, not as a reputational risk. So as part of the water stewardship, companies are investing. Big companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nestle, initially they wanted to reduce their water footprint, but now they want to go beyond their factories, and they want to work at the catchment level. I don't want to defend these companies, but I'm just sharing some of the initiatives that these companies are supporting to manage the water resources at the catchment level, which is improving the natural springs, which is improving, working with the communities on having a better access to potable water, using floating wetlands for wastewater treatment. And these small projects are yielding results. They have, and let me also clarify one thing. These projects or a portfolio or a cocktail of interventions were not invented by WWF. They were there. Excellent research done by organizations supposed like Pakistan Council of Research and Water Resources and other, NIPG and other. It was lying in the shelf. Sir, Dr. Ashraf बैठे में एक recharge well लगा दिया था, and then it was not expanding, थोड़ी सी हो रही थी. Now, just 150 recharge wells in Lahore, more than 100 in Islamabad. Rainwater harvesting, floating wetlands, NIPG की research थी. We did it, and we're using plants which can uptake heavy metals and which can, clean. We're using it for the Punjab. Har gaon ke bahar, there's a small pond, and you can use these small, such solutions to partially treat, and use that water for agriculture, because at the moment, many places you use raw sewage. So my point is that it's not the solution. We are not saying engineering solutions are bad, but we need to come up with a hybrid model where we also use such solutions along with the pure gray structures and engineering solutions. This should be part of the curriculum in our universities, and the need is to gradually scale it up. Thank you very much.